Hello and welcome to the Magic of Boot 45th episode. Ronnie here. I have Sudipta with me. Sudipta, we are going to cover La Liga and a bit of Bundesliga, hopefully. And potentially some others. Uh, but yeah, just before that, how are you doing?
So far actually pretty pretty good actually. How about you?
Yeah, life is fairly busy, but football has been part of it. I played some game last week. It's a pretty casual game, not really hardcore, but still,
Oh,
uh, still picked up one small injury. Somebody kicked really hard
it's
on me.
been it's been a while you were playing, right?
No, I played the summer. I played the entire summer,
Oh, okay.
and then a few of my colleagues were just playing casual game. The problem was I was back heeling a ball, and someone came and shoot.
Oh, okay.
But the shot went on my leg.
Well, at least he did not kicked you or something.
No, he kicked me.
Oh, I thought like it was on the ball and then
No,
it.
no. I managed the back heel. He kicked me.
Oh shit.
Uh,
Okay.
that
I
was
hope
bad.
you will be
No,
well. Actually,
it's
I probably texted you. I was watching sixth division match because one of my friend was inviting me. And it's been a while. I haven't. I have watched like probably it's since I left Munich. Yeah, around this time. But I saw I was actually curious about their football structure, and he showed me that the whole structure because like their team is now like fighting for relegation, and actually he was promoted from their B team, which they were like this. Yeah, their B team is playing in probably at the eighth division, and now he's like playing in the sixth. So yeah, he invited me. I went there. I was actually curious, and the game was actually like I actually hoped a little bit, like a little bit like well, it will be physical a little bit, but it wasn't that physical actually. It was more technical, and both team was like pushing in up, and it was like everything was going on in between this like 30 years, like d box, like not d box, like a big circle. um they actually conceded probably 8 goal in this match. So it was fun to watch, not for him but for me actually. uh, I I could have actually watched, and also like I was taking photos a lot, and they thought I was a journalist or something like that, and they did not ask for any money or something. It was funny actually, like and I was thinking about like carrying a camera all the time. uh, so
there you
yeah,
go. There you go. You got your
but it
profession.
was entertaining also, like they actually had some players who actually could hold the ball and everything. And it's like, that match against Barcelona Bayern, when Barcelona conceded 8 goal. It's sort of similar because they are playing like holding the ball but not doing anything at all, like so.
Okay, okay. That's a great experience, and hopefully you find your retirement.
But they are like a really technical game, like both physical. There were physical players obviously, but I think both of the teams, especially the other team, they have some young players like 15 16 years old, and they are like running riot in the wings. It was fun to watch actually.
Okay. Uh, shall we go towards?
Yeah, of course.
So where are you going to start? Bundesliga Division 6 to 1 or somewhere else?
We can start like that. Also, like there were some important matches in the Champions League,
Sure,
and it's like
it's up to you. Totally.
let's start from there actually.
Champions League.
Then we'll go back. Yeah.
Okay.
As we were talking about Barcelona and Bayern, yeah, Barcelona still could not find a way to win it in
Munich.
yeah, in Allianz Arena Stadium. Um, and I know that actually atmosphere. I was there on Bayern versus Real Madrid. It could be a tough atmosphere to play there actually. Um, but do you have any thoughts on that actually?
Well,
Like
I would like to know your thought on that, then I'll add.
it was interesting, and if you remember, like last time when I was analyzing Bayern Munich, we could not find a way.
By the way, is it
Um,
an Arsenal shirt you were wearing?
oh no, it's Ajax.
Oh, okay, Ajax. Okay, just making sure.
No, some of the teams that I have some admiration, and I'm actually planning to buy Union Berlin T-shirt. Uh, but anyway, so if you remember, like last time, I could not actually find well, I could not find a pattern of Bayern Munich's attack, and I now found it actually how they attacked. And if you remember that Atletico team before Simeone, which was like doing okay, the season before Simeone came, well, 2 seasons before, Forlan was there, and there were some young players. Also, probably Torres was there, right? Or he already left. He already left. There were some players like they were used to play like a 4-2-2 formation. Um, uh, Bayern is playing similar sort of football, like with two strikers in front. Sometimes Mane is dropping, um, and Mane is sort of playing like um, well, he's sort of like in a free position, and let's go to the board actually. It would be easier to explain.
Sure.
Well, can you see?
It's coming. Yeah, it's up.
Okay. So let's say this is Bayern.
Okay.
So
You mean the blue one?
yeah, the blue one. Um, so yep, actually 9 was there. Yeah, they sort of how can I say organize like this from the beginning, and what they do actually, Muller try to find out this sort of space behind the defender. Um, Mane is sort of like their Diego Forlan, and he's like try to get receive the ball before the second defensive line, or in between this area, and always try to push in the back post. Actually, well, most of the time, I guess he scored probably 5 or 6 goals, and most of the goals actually came from this sort of 6 yards box area. Sane plays there sometimes, Gnabry, but they are sort of like inverted winger. Um, well, yeah, and whoever playing in this. Probably most of the time, it is who is this? Musiala, yeah. But the best part is like with this team is, I guess, like against Barcelona in the first half, it was Alfonso Davies. Um, Rafinha could not actually get the ball, and at the end of the first half, actually, he was switching position with Ousmane Dembele, and Dembele is actually causing a little bit problem. Normally in Bundesliga, what Davies do is like push a little bit further, a little bit try to create a width in this position. Uh, Whoever playing in this position try to make some sort of like a how can I say this sort of run, um, diagonal run, and try to keep the width. And Kimmich is like playing this sort of like a deep playing playmaker, as they actually more related to the um, sorry, they were relying on him for the creativity. And the match before, actually, it was interesting game. It was probably against Eintracht Frankfurt, who were actually they actually scored 2 goals and conceded 2 goals. And this season they have these problems, like they don't have any creative players. So like that's why I was how can I say, telling you like at the beginning that like they cannot actually create how can I say something out of nothing or something like that. They don't have like, Thiago anymore, and also there aren't any like how can I say like a genuine number 10. Probably Musiala is playing sort of like sometimes he drops in this area and try to make something, but he's more like a number 8 or something, or 8.5 or something like that, but not like that. But what actually was interesting is that like the change in the first half, Barcelona was in this sort of shape, like when they're losing the ball, they're trying to drop back, but the I guess Goretzka came in, and he was actually pushing up and trying to pin up Sergio Busquets. Sometimes it was who, who, who yeah, sometimes it was Kimmich, and they actually successfully blocked the channel. And Gabi was brilliant, and he was taken off. And actually, that's that. Actually, they lost that game like in the only 3 minutes of probably, yeah, in 3 minutes they considered 2 goals, and most of them are like from the counter attack. They could not actually get back into those sort of shapes. So yeah, that's so far the summary from me.
Okay. So just on overall performance, I mean, do you think there was something wrong with Barcelona in prepping?
I don't think so actually, because if you are playing against Bayern Munich, even though they are not playing well or something like that, but they're still actually a really good tactical team, especially against big teams who are holding position. They still have this counter-attacking, how can I say, instinct with them. And with Thomas Muller, actually, um, he's sort of like their false nine or something like that. But it's like so, but, but sometimes he's like a second striker or something like that. So it's hard to explain his position like right now. But in overall, like Lewandowski got like 3 clear chances in the first half, if you have watched the highlights or something like that. So normally he could have at least scored one. And especially I thought like there was a simple tap in, and if you remember that actually Neuer made this mistake after a while. He actually passed the ball towards Lewandowski. um, so and he actually pull Lewandowski actually pull a Higuain out of it. So
Yep.
so yeah, they could have actually scored two, three, even four goals in the first half because Bayern was only they got like two chances, but it's like any team can get like those sort of chances. Like it's like not like a real chance. But in the second half, especially in the counter, Barcelona looked vulnerable. So
My only issue was starting Rafinha, especially. I mean, you're putting him against Alfonso Davies. Not easy.
Davis actually, yeah, even though Barcelona was playing well, Davis was actually putting him in his pocket the whole time.
Exactly. So, and also Rafinha is a. I admire him for different reason. He has skill set. He has one versus one ability. But you have to. I thought that was a mistake from Xavi, not starting Dembele on that side and probably putting. He put Ferran Torres in halftime. I mean, Ferran could have even started, or even others such as
Fatih.
Fatih. Yeah.
Fatih
Uh,
was playing well. Actually, Ferran Torres, like when you were trailing, especially, I don't see if Ferran Torres is like get you that much confidence because Ferran Torres is a really good ball player and he can play or switch. Like he's so fluid. Rafinha is not that actually fluid, and his moves are like really predicted. You know, like Sule
not,
or
not not
sometimes.
not just that. He slows the attack down,
Yeah,
taking too many touches, and you kind of know where. And his finishing is. I think he could have scored two goals if he was accurate.
yeah. I think that goals actually could have been done by Ferran Torres even though he misses a lot, but still. But yeah, like when you were thinking about building, I don't know, especially against Bayern. And another decision is like playing Alonso and Christensen both in the. I thought it would be better to play Balde because how he was playing so far, and he's like only 18. He could have actually taken that actually. How can I say? um, Taken the tool actually. Like he only played like 3 days. Even like he was substituted like last in the last match
Yeah,
against Sevilla, right?
yeah.
Or
I,
someone,
I
someone
tot-
else.
totally agree. Alonso. I mean, I don't know. I didn't. I mean, he's experienced. That's about it. But I think first goal goes some. I mean, he was not marking it definitely the
Uh,
corner, and the other goal was a little bit of silly. I mean, Sane was running and almost nobody else tracking, and also that comes back with the center back issue in Barcelona. I mean, started Christensen
well, 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 not only center back, like it it's the problems with like Busquets actually.
No, no,
It's
I get that, I get that. But you need someone to cover him up. You know, Busquets is not a young person.
But they can actually start with Frankie De Jong because he was playing well, and
Or,
he
or,
just
or
scored,
Cassie.
or Cassie, yeah, probably, because they needed at least because I so far I saw that midfield like when Gavi was playing like in the first half, he was
First,
tackling the center back
yeah,
and he was coming back and he was like tackling whoever playing in the right side and he was actually like running diagonal like a referee.
yeah.
So yeah, and he was covering that huge space, and I thought like second half, especially technically.
I think the first
Well,
20-25 minutes, Bayern were choking.
yeah,
Barcelona, and that's thanks to obviously we're going to be critical of Busquets, but Busquets was winning a lot of ball,
yeah,
second ball, third ball.
that's
He
true.
was he was winning and providing the right passes, and also I don't like how they're underusing Memphis Depay. I think he's still a fantastic player. Um, Sometime you need you need that goal scorer to be playing a little bit, especially when Ansu Fati came in.
Yeah, Ansu Fati is actually more demanding them than actually Depay. so I would put him in the obviously, but that actually raised the question, like in the especially in the right side of the wing, right wings.
Yeah,
But there was also like some bad luck. Like Pedri had a woodwork, and it could have been a brilliant, like
brilliant
a
goal. Yeah,
beautiful, yeah, beautiful goal. But that that actually like well, I saw some how can I say criticism of Xavi, like probably in Twitter, like is he good enough to coach this team now? So it's it got reversed this time. So yeah,
uh, classic. Who are questioning Xavi,
I don't know, like some Twitter dude.
who have probably never kicked the ball.
Yeah. The thing is that like it will come actually eventually. Like every how
There
can I
are
say
how many chances were created? Eight, around eight
eight, yeah,
or
around
nine. So,
even
so even
eight
if
nine.
they've taken three, they would have won. So I know it's
Actually, like Lewandowski has like three clear chances. Like any other day, it could have been like in, like, and they have this guy like who is scoring like freely, uh, and he only had like a bad match. So like they still need to find that other guy who can actually step over. And actually, Pedri did, but it's so unfortunate he did not get goal. But when they were trailing, I thought like putting Fatih would have been actually a little bit better than
Ferran.
Torres. Yeah,
Yeah,
because Fatih is like more direct than Torres. Torres is like more like thinking about in link up and stuff like that, and they have like they they have players who can actually link up and all.
but
But this team is like
again,
shaping up
yeah,
like
exactly.
this
It
team just
is. It
started
is.
like this season only, and there were so many dramas like up until last month.
But do you
So
think
like
Gavi was taken because of probably injury risk? Like he had a muscle cramp back in Sevilla game.
probably that actually because he was running a lot. Probably like so far I remember he and Davis are the one who actually was running
By
probably
the
highest.
by the way, not just because I'm Canadian, I think Davis was the best player on Bayern team. Uh,
Actually, if something was coming out of that team a little bit creative, like especially 1v1 situations, it was actually coming from Davis, honestly. And even like they have three, four wingers playing
yeah.
in different positions, but still like they couldn't actually take those 1v1 situations.
And also,
So
he was lucky not to concede that penalty of Dembele as well. But
yeah, it was actually a penalty.
the referee must love Canadians anyway. Uh, Moving on from there, I think Barcelona has a lot to take from it. It's a difficult stadium. There are a lot of chances. They've been dominant for a lot of time in that game and been unlucky.
Yeah, also like I guess it would be a lesson for them, like this young team. And yeah, if there are like some changes here and there, and Xavi is like still knowing these players, like what they can do. So I think like you cannot put a team right away, like for like a season, even right now, like for example, yeah, let's see, say about like Real Madrid. This team is playing since like 10 year, like up until last season. So many players left this summer, but they're playing like almost since like 12, and some of the players are playing in from like mid or late 2000s. So they built the team that time, and it actually paid off in the end. And uh, like even that Barcelona team, that second team, it started actually well. They have Xavi, Iniesta, these sort of basic players, Ito, they bought them actually before even Pep Guardiola was manager or something. He played with some of them actually. So this is the thing actually, like it will pay off. Like they actually pinned Gavi down up until 2026, I guess. He signed a contract yesterday. So, and they're thinking about Pinto Balde, and those are like two teenagers, 18 years old. So there is a lot of things like like if you remember last season, Arsenal was playing well at that time, and they are losing some, like when they're losing some critical games because of the experience, and that's why experience is important. That's why like Lewandowski could have actually, you know, scored against his old team
Oh, yeah,
probably.
that would have given them a different kind of momentum, right? So
Yeah, and they were like. They Bayern looked actually a little bit scared in the beginning and
yeah,
anxious,
first 20,
and
25 minutes
when
they were choking, right?
Lewandowski was
They,
missing chance,
exactly. They couldn't breathe first 20,
yeah,
25 minutes.
yeah,
Uh, okay, moving on from that game. Any other
yeah.
games?
Uh, I was not surprised. Contest team actually lost against Sporting,
Okay.
and there are still doubt that like Tottenham will pass the group stage, and we actually joked about it probably 2 3 episodes before that, like if Conte is passing the group stage for the first time in his life or something like that.
His
Uh,
Vancouver
but
hairstylist
yeah,
would be
like
happy.
there were some issues with Son probably is out of form, and Richarlison is doing okay, but I guess still there are something missing, especially creatively toward the middle. Um, but that's
Nothing
it.
new. Nothing new about
No,
Tottenham.
nothing actually.
Yeah. Uh,
And Kane actually dropped down a lot and trying to create something, but with Son is not in the form, and it's hard to create something.
yeah. So,
But good for Sporting actually. They can actually move
oh yeah,
uh, up well.
yeah. The other reason I don't think Conte was. I mean, they stopped playing almost after certain say 60,
Yeah,
70 minutes. They're not really playing.
yeah, and this team is like, if you remember that Pochettino team, they were like running a lot. Even like up until the end of last season, like last 2 months, um, they played really well. Uh, Before the end of the season, they beat Arsenal and some other big teams, probably Man City at the time. Um, I guess they are good in counter attacking, but like with Sporting sitting deep,
Deeper, yeah.
yeah. So it's like they don't have anything creative. Like that team actually had Ericsson, um,
Yeah.
or Dele Alli sometimes was outperforming. So this team doesn't have that actually. Kulusevski is like a good runner. So does Son, but creatively they are relying on right now on Hurricane.
Yeah. Um, any other game?
I'm wearing Ajax t-shirt, so like, can we go there? We almost had uh, Liverpool. Ajax, I was talking. It's like I haven't seen Liverpool so scared in Anfield in the recent, yeah, in
Recent
the recent
past.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you
Everything.
watched the highlights or
I
anything?
did. I did watch the highlights. Liverpool. I mean, they look doubtful. Let's put it that way. There are certain players. Some of the big names of Liverpool were facing were not really big names in Ajax. Like there's a 19-year or 18-year-old academy r- right wing back or left wing back against Salah. Uh, But yeah, they look all good at this point. Whoever is playing against Liverpool. I mean, obviously Liverpool by far compared to any other game, they look more as an unit in this
Mm.
game. Yeah,
Yeah, but that's the thing. Except for Tadic and probably Blind, everyone is new.
yeah.
Or Barguin.
And Blin could have scored. I mean, it was very
Yeah,
unfortunate that it went outside. But what a goal from Kudus.
yeah. They got a new striker.
Yeah, he's on the turn almost blindly. He just put it like pitch perfect. No chance to the keeper. But again, I mean, Liverpool would be happy with the win. I mean, for Ajax, I mean, I think that they've missed the opportunity of even just drawing the game.
Yeah. Do you think like they actually at the end were throwing bodies up front? Like Firmino came in, Nunez came in, and Jota actually started. It's a good sign.
Jota played well.
Yeah, it's a good sign actually, but he still have some injury issues. But he will get there. He did not have a preseason, I guess. Like so, like Klopp probably would like love to take it slow because as like they don't have that much problem in attack, except for Salah is out of form, but um, he can like he's still scoring whenever he can. But the problem is in the still in the midfield, and they are really doubtful about themselves, and that's actually causing problem. Alcantara came in. That's another good sign actually. But still, Liverpool was sort of like desperate to play Alcantara because so far I know like he still has muscular issues.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, as I said, they have certain players, and I feel I've known why they're conceding a little bit of goals, especially from the right hand side of Trent Alexander-Arnold's side, is that I mean Harvey Elliott is his name Harvey Elliott, right? Or is it Elliott? So
Elliot.
he's so good with the ball. He's so good on the possession and attacking, but he's not as good as tracking back and covering Trent. So
Actually, one of them should have actually like in any team. Like if you, it's sort of like how can I say natural because like if you are thinking about five in the front when you have balls and three in the or two in the middle, sort of like this build up. One of them should have actually like interchanged, and that actually that chemistry and that's another thing. Like I told you last in our last episode, like he should have been in the left side. So that's like because Diaz is playing well, Robertson is playing well, and if he is there, they could have actually create more chances. So like normally teams does that
yeah,
actually. Like even Liverpool did that actually before they were attacking in the wings, like and not much in the middle. From the middle only, Firmino was dropping like earlier Klopp years, um, and Arsenal was doing that actually last season. They were attacking more from the left because Martinelli, Tierney, and some other guys like Odegaard has a tendency to move towards left because he's left-footed. So like this sort of things, and then now Arsenal is also like playing from in the right and left, and Ajax was attacking in the right. Yeah, they were actually attacking that sort of situation. They have
and
like
the
50-50.
goal came in from that side too.
Yeah, and now they have, I guess, like a little bit. Ajax would have end the match because if they have the players they had last season, uh, but they are building another team. Like it's sort of
It's a cycle.
like under yeah under another coach and like some of the players they're like regular for the batch team and they actually did really well and another interesting player probably Jorge Sanchez, I guess.
Yeah, for Mexican, right?
Yeah, and Mexican, right?
I think so.
Let me check. He caught my eyes actually. He's only like 24. Yeah, he's Mexican.
Yeah.
Um, so like he's only like 24 years old. And Mexico got a player. That's a good thing.
Well, hope it lasts. Obviously, there is Alvarez on that team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I just on that note, I guess I don't have anything else to add on that. I mean,
No,
good for Liverpool. They won it, while Napoli won three penalties and 3-0
yeah.
on their game, and they're sitting on top on that table.
Actually, this Napoli team looks a little bit, wiser, I would say, because if you remember, like at the beginning of last season, we were talking about like how much, how yeah, run Napoli players were making last season in the beginning, especially like up until October, November, because like they were actually carrying the ball towards the opponent's half, like with short passes. So like they have to run a lot. And this time, actually, like this team, looks a little bit more fluid.
A
So
little bit more direct.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And also like got rid of Koulibaly, and it's hard to say like saying got rid of because of
They got a lot of
they
money for it.
yeah, exactly. And also like Kim is brilliant player.
Yeah,
He actually caught my eyes, and he's like he's sort of like a big for a Asian guy, and also like he's fast. Like he's really fast. That's sort of like an update. Like in 2 3 years, he will be a really good prospect. Also like Martins left, and they got so many, how can I say, attacker now. They can actually create something creatively and also like go to the counter attacks with long balls. That's another issue actually they were missing last season. And uh, most of the time Napoli starts well, and because of like since Mauricio Sarri, right? Sarri was that manager, right? Before that, Ancelotti was when Ancelotti was there. They were actually running a lot, like a lot. So um, if they run a little bit less, it's like a whole opposite thing to say.
yeah,
So
yeah. Let's see
and
how.
pick the moments actually. Like it's that's why I'm saying like
Well,
picking the
there are a
moment.
few runners in the team, such as Politano or
Yeah.
Vara. There are certain runners definitely, and also players like Anguissa and stuff like that. They make some runs, but they pick their moments, I guess.
Zelensky is like playing outstanding.
Yeah, he's in
And
very very good form.
that left wingers we whose name we cannot actually
Yeah,
we know
Varadona,
who.
Varadona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keisha Varadona. Anyway, on that, I think Napoli is looking better, and I think
Yeah.
um, they're well. It's hard to say because the second leg, or the after three legs, I don't know when the fourth and fifth legs are going to be played. Because of, if you think of it, World Cup is not that far. It's just over 2 months.
Yeah, like 4 leg only, 1 month away.
Yeah,
Seems like that
yeah,
actually.
exactly.
Uh, uh, and another thing is interesting thing is that like when English teams plays against Scottish teams like Rangers and Celtics, it historically it's
Yeah,
like overheated game, and Liverpool especially like so many Scottish player from that side, but still Scotland, if I remember, like I met some of the Scottish supporter there, like when I was in Munich, and well,
yeah,
they were like the second worst supporters I've ever seen after Liverpool supporters. So it could have been a technical game. Yeah.
yeah. Um, any other game we wanna?
No, whoa, so many games actually. Like Chelsea drew against Salzburg.
I didn't
Um,
have the opportunity to see that even in highlights.
yeah, actually, Chelsea is still trying to find a way, but they will be a little bit proud of themselves. Like Graham Potter trying to, well, it's like only his first match, um,
Yeah.
and his Champions League debut, and against team like organized teams like Salzburg, like just still managed to score first. And I thought like it would stand that way, because of Potter's reputation, but Okafor actually put Salzburg actually in level. So I don't have actually anything to add that in that match actually.
Okay. Any
I
other game?
actually I was actually watching PSG versus
All right.
Maccabi
Yeah.
Haifa a little bit at the
Yeah.
time.
We have to mention that Lionel Messi broke the record of scoring the most opponent in Champions League, right? He was
Yeah,
sharing the
then,
record with
yeah.
Cristiano in 38, and now he surpassed it.
um,
Otherwise,
Also, he scored like 18 consecutive season. I guess
exactly.
like it's the first player to ever to done that. But given they how they if Ronaldo is there, he could have actually also
No,
with some teams. Maybe.
obviously.
So, but it was important how he was linking up with Mbappe um, in this match. Like those are the things, and just before he scored there, well, after he scored actually there was a chance like he passed this like 1-1 with Neymar and opened up the opposition like in between in the left side actually, right in between the space of right back and right center back. And he shoot actually, it could have actually ended up in goal, but brilliant save from that keeper. But Mbappe actually had quite a few chances. And Neymar and Messi is opening him up a lot. But if given like compared to last season's performance, like it's not that actually high so far from Mbappe. He could have actually scored a lot of goals, especially 1v1 situations he is getting in. But he actually assisted one for the first for Messi.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Nothing else to actually talk about on that game. I mean, there are certain good performances. I thought Vitinha was fairly good on that. Whatever I've seen. Uh,
Yeah, and third goal actually came from a forgotten move from Verratti. He was switching the play from the one side to the other and opening up Neymar, and Neymar scored. And it has been a while I have seen Verratti is trying to do that sort of things, um, switching the play and stuff like that actually. And they should have actually done it more often, because given the players they have in the front, if they switch and they create more 1v1 situations, and also they have I guess like that wing back actually is playing in the left, because um, Hakimi did not start. The other guy, let me check. Mendes,
yeah.
he's playing well actually. Like especially for one-footed player, and he's like a really good runner. He was like up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. So it's a good sign they have those, but still they need to think about like opening up those players, especially Messi, Neymar, like more 1v1 situations
Yeah.
from the back actually, not from them actually, because as soon as they get the ball, because they will attract players, and that is actually open why Mbappe is getting more 1v1s. So like if they play more like advanced position, like switching the play or some stuff like that from one wing to another, and it or yeah, like getting the second ball or third ball towards Messi or Neymar, and that could have been actually like a sort of like a really good thing to see. And Neymar is still can take out like two three guys.
Yeah, he does. And I found it was hilarious that he got yellow carded for his celebration. Uh,
Well, I haven't actually watched that actually because another match was going on, and it was one of the most interesting game of this week.
okay.
Um, it was Dortmund versus Man City. So, have you watched the highlights or anything?
No, I didn't.
So, have you
For
missed?
the Man City, and sorry,
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Man City could not actually take a shoot up until 80
Yeah,
minutes, and the first shoot they took, it was from John Stones. He actually pulled a Vincent Company. If you remember that goal, Vincent Company goal outside of the box, like probably 28 yards
yeah,
outside of the goal, and he actually sort of scored a similar goal from a similar position actually. And then they came back, and it's been probably almost like 60 or 70% matches this season they came back
from
from trailing, and it's a good practice in a way, but it's still they are conceding goals. That's another issue. But Dortmund actually played really well. Like whenever they are getting into the counter-attacking positions, especially how Jude Bellingham. If have you watched that goal from Bellingham? Wow, it's impossible to actually stop those sort of things.
yeah. It's a good goal from a very good player.
Yeah,
And also, I thought for a while, Dortmund probably lacked a little bit of energy. Obviously, against Manchester City, you cannot compete in 90 minutes in the same level and energy without the ball, right? But I think,
they actually had a tough match before in the weekend.
yeah, the RB Leipzig, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Leipzig was like running riot through towards the middle.
yeah. But anyway, I thought it was very good exercise for City. I mean, obviously they're the contender.
Yeah, and it's like so surprising to see like they weren't like pushing that far, but still managed to pin down those wingers and pin down those counter attacks from the wings, and they are actually like trying to push them away from the middle
Yeah, that
and try to create stress those gap between these three midfielders, especially like De Bruyne, Gundogan or Silva or something like that. In the end, it was interesting to see like uh, Julian Alvarez actually played like a like he was playing in that position De Bruyne used to play as a like a whole like probably as a you can call it like a center midfielder, or probably when they are attacking it's like a sort of like a second striker position. But De Bruyne pushed towards the wing and trying to make those crosses, and one of those crosses actually was like really dangerous and could have went in like. But what about the match-winning goal?
oh goodness, what a pass! What a finish! Uh, it's unbelievable the way he latched onto that. I mean, you have to be really, really athletic to be and also a big guy. I mean, if you keep doing it, I don't know how the defender will defend. How the
Well,
defender is supposed to
he
defend.
actually put his foot over like around 6 foot area.
Exactly. So how the defenders are supposed to defend? I don't know. That's tough.
And saw those gap between that actually center backs. He was still finding that gap actually, and uh,
Well,
the delivery from
his movement has been. I've noticed a bit. His movement hasn't been that like say Sergio Aguero used to. he's been there, and he was asked to be on that um, a little bit of box drawn by that two center backs and where they're moving. So in between those lines, right? He's moving here and there, but he's staying on that line for long, and probably a little bit late, a little bit behind. But it's, it's such an instinctive player to find that spot, and knows where the ball will be played, and you know he's there.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
another thing,
minimalistic, very minimalistic movement.
yeah, and the reporter was asking him like at the end, you don't have that much touch in the ball, in the especially in the build up, and if
That's not
you
his
like,
work.
yeah, do you like to score like in minimal touches? And he was saying like, probably joking or not, I don't know, I'm not sure, because he was saying like, if I have like 5 touches and
Five
the whole
goals.
match and 5 goals, it will be nice. And he could have actually done that in against probably Nottingham Forest or some of the teams. But it was unbelievable to watch, especially actually. Do you agree? Like, because right before the first goal, Dortmund actually changed the shape because they take off. They have taken off Modest and the striker and put an extra center back. Um, Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck was starting all the games so
Yeah,
far
yeah,
for Dortmund. And do you think that that could have been an issue, um, like against City, they're
yeah,
losing a shape or something?
yeah. I think so. A little bit at least. I mean, especially if you're going into attack and losing the ball all of a sudden, and then
Yeah, but like 4 5 players are
out of
attacking all the time,
out of
especially in
shape.
the like after 70 minutes.
Yeah, and
Like,
not against just City. I mean, City, that they'll pin you down back. The
yeah,
teams like Real Madrid, the teams like uh, Bayern Munich, even it's hard.
yeah, I know. But it's good to see actually, like City finally have those sort of players who can actually make the difference in the field without any technical, can I say, changes or something like that.
On
But another match, I was actually hopeful about like Leipzig up until 80 minutes, because like it's the match before they beat Dortmund, and they were actually fairly well against Madrid, but they are playing in Santiago Bernabeu, and the thing is that like Madrid actually wake up after 80 minutes, and Freddy Valverde, wow, what a brilliant goal.
yeah, but
And he is like really good form, like really good.
yeah,
And the thing is that like
the guy is versatile.
it's hard to explain his position. Sometimes he's like a fourth midfielder, and sometimes he's like a winger, and sometimes he's like a, how can I say, like an extra wing back or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's a stopgap option.
Yeah, and one if one guy can do that sort of things, like in the midfield, like sometimes somehow he realize the game and become a sort of like a utility player in between, mm, like
It's almost like one Cancelo, what he used to do in both
and
wings.
now it's like more like I guess
Kimmich.
yeah, not Kimmich. Like Kimmich don't go that far actually. Probably in that season when they were winning everything,
Yeah,
but not like well, when Alcantara was there, he was doing that sort of thing, but not now. Now Bernardo Silva is doing so that sort of thing. Sometimes he's sort of like a center defensive midfielder or something, but it's hard to explain this guy. Like he's so silent, so like arriving always late in the box, and Sometimes he's like the guy who's taking down the wing backs and exploiting that, like center backs, like the wing back and center back position, and try to create something from there. And it's hard to explain that he's like really getting there, and like can I say, given that like his unorthodox position, I would say like we can actually see something new from that side actually.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know like how to explain him as a forward or as a midfielder or something, but he's sort of like a complete player.
Oh yeah, yes. Um, but other than that, I mean, even it seems really hard. I mean, I've seen that. Have you seen that? I like the build up of the second goal so much of Madrid.
Actually, when Madrid scores once and it opens up all sort of spaces, and they are like really fond of those sort of spaces.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it's
was not
almost
surprising.
like patient, 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 patient,
Yeah,
patient, and all of a sudden there is a change of pace, and things open.
yeah. There are so many players they can like. For example, well, like Cruz changes tempo all the time. Modric is not like Modric is playing in his tempo all the time, but Cruz actually changes tempo from the back. I guess that's why he's still there. But too many is another player who can actually like he has space, and sometimes he decides to run when he decides that actually it's hard to play against him. Also, from the back, Rudiger can change tempo. Alaba can change his tempo. So like they finally have like three center backs they who can actually play from the back, and it actually covers up Courtois' lack of ability in this area, like especially on foot. But he's getting a little bit better than he was in Chelsea. But still, like it's not like that level.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Uh, Nothing
I
to
guess
add.
we covered
We covered
almost
more,
all the players.
except that we didn't say about Benfica's win against Juventus.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not a surprise actually. Um, Juventus actually scored fast, but still, it did not feel like they're going to dominate or something like that. And
Allegri
then
teams never dominate, not even against Salernitana. No, sorry, um, but it's
Fernandez was well actually,
that's the
and
only bright guy. But I feel really sorry for this guy. It's been pitted in a very
McKinney.
average team. No, no, Paredes. I think
Oh, okay.
he's playing in a very, very average team, and with a coach that is very, very conservative and doesn't have much idea.
Yeah, but what can you do, because like he was not getting any offer, but Inter Milan moved on. Like since they bought
Lukaku.
Romelu Lukaku, yeah, it's just I don't know. Like I still don't understand that decision actually, but they still needed a midfielder because they have scorer like Martinez, and they needed a winger and a central midfielder or something like that. And they went for Lukaku with this high salary and stuff like that. I don't understand. That's why AC Milan is doing well, especially I guess even in the Champions League they are doing a little bit better than last season.
Yeah,
Not a little bit, way better because they lost probably first four games last season.
yeah,
But it's good to see Enzo Fernandez was how he was playing, and Benfica team actually got they actually done a very good business last summer.
oh yeah. Thanks to
Uh,
the Nuno Nunes
yeah,
transfers and others. I think isn't it Fabio Cavallo was from here? No.
yeah.
Yeah.
They actually made like 100 million euro profit. after selling and buying players, like only from that actually, and it's like the highest in Europe.
Okay. Makes sense. I mean, they're looking good at this point. Playing
Yeah.
some very good football. And again, Juventus. It's sad to see such name not playing that well.
Uh, Actually, it's like when you are building a team, you should start from the like bed. Actually, like from you need some base players, and Allegri, I guess, doesn't have any idea about those sort of players because last time he had Kalini and other from the back, and he did not have to think about that sort of stuff. Then he got midfielders who was like functioning well and functioning. Higuain, they brought Higuain actually, who was actually playing well at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they don't have actually those sort of things. They have Vlahovic and Milik. Probably Milik is playing well actually. Also, I would say, what's his name? The midfielder who scored against PSG,
McKennie.
McKennie. Yeah, McKennie was playing well. But the thing is that like they're
So much
so random.
individual random. It's not
Yeah,
planned. It's not
it's not like a
organized.
team,
Yeah, it's just
and
somebody somewhere they're just doing some individual stuff, and if they can win you games.
they're still like relying on Cuadrado for that ball sometimes, and sometimes for like
That is
uh,
why I don't understand how they have treated Paulo Dybala. If who's going to string that attack to defense? I just don't know. Um,
also they lost Kulusevski last season, which
yeah,
like I don't I did not actually understand that decision at all. Like I love that player, and he was playing well, like at the
they've
end,
got a
especially in
good money for that. Then they should have able to replace him.
best, yeah. But I don't know. Like Chiesa is still out, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back soon.
Oh shit. Then like it would be.
And
I don't
Di
see actually.
Maria at
Di
30,
Maria is
35, 36.
35.
He's not going to give you entire season at this age, and
Yeah,
is an injury prone guy too.
and I guess like he's probably saving himself a little bit for the World Cup as well.
Makes perfect sense
Yeah,
from his
yeah, and
side.
it's like his last World Cup, so
Yeah. So yeah, no, that's enough of Juventus. Any other team?
I actually no. We can actually talk about this sort of probably Milan and
Yeah, sure,
in the next week because I did not watch Europa League this week. I had so many stuff going on. Um, can we move to La Liga or Bundesliga?
for sure. Let's. Where are we gonna go? La Liga.
Um, let's go La Liga.
Yeah. Uh,
Tomorrow is the Madrid derby. Do you think
yeah.
it's a
Uh,
big game or because like Real Madrid is like probably demolishing all of his opponent so far.
well, I wouldn't say that. Liga is a little bit tight. I'd say at a certain point, Barcelona will definitely be competing at least. Uh, but
Well,
even
they're like one game away from being top. Like if Madrid lost and they win their game against Celta probably like
yeah.
um, someone else. I don't know, but they will be in the top. But do you think like we can expect fight from Atletico Madrid given their well, there will be a lot of physical stuff, especially. I don't know. Simeone will try to put some pressure on the referee, and the game is on probably in the new stadium, right,
Yeah.
or in the Santiago? Let me check.
I think it's in the Wanda Metropolitano
Oh, okay.
because
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Koke was saying Vinicius cannot celebrate that at Wanda, and stuff like that. Anyway, uh,
Mind game has already started.
well, it's not
But do you
fun.
think they can stop or harm
I don't want to even
Real?
go there before. I don't think Atletico is favorite at all at this point because of their inconsistency. And if you see last couple of years of how Atletico played against Madrid in the Liga, it's not really been positive at all. And the more you
It's always like saving they are trying to save their skin or something like that.
yeah, it's almost like how Inter Milan is playing at this point.
Yeah.
Like they're playing for the sake of playing, nothing else. They're not going for win. Um, Atletico has a lot of good players, but I don't know how they're using it. And at this point, Madrid is probably one of the best team in the Europe, so it's fair to lose it.
But in a way, Koke's prediction is right because like they will sit deep and they will go for a counter with like two, three, four players.
But
Atletico.
but
So it would be,
you know,
but Real can actually score like even without Benzema, you know.
or even if yeah, exactly. So Real has a lot of option, and Real's
Yeah.
midfield now is more dynamic. It's not as stagnant as it used to be. There are the wing backs options are open as well, and then you have Vinicius if you're given a bit of space, and Rodrigo is a very good player. So at this point, and how much I've seen Atletico, I don't really feel that comfortable um, going for them. Although they've scored they've had a very good game against Celta,
Uh,
4-0, and not Griezmann scoring. There's some really cool, especially the first goal I like so much of the build up of three Argentine Molina, Rodrigo De Paul, and Correa, just one touch, and scoring that goal. That was a good goal. Other goals were good too. I mean, I liked the way they played a bit. I don't know, Angel Correa. He adds something on that attack. Whenever he's there, he's connecting well with others, and
he's good in link up.
yeah, he's very
Um,
he's fairly good
but
at.
but it's unfortunate because like his team is not playing that sort of position only if they're going for a counter or something like that. Other than that, like his team probably happy to sit back. That's another issue actually. And Deepal still have like sort of disciplinary issues.
I
uh,
yeah, I don't know what kind of role was given as well. So it's all Simeone, and but yeah, his team played well last game. Um, I I have not seen any consistency for the last 2 3 years, and one of the major reason has been that his center backs are not that wall that used to be in the Atletico.
yeah,
His center backs are really not great at this point. So
I
that
thought they actually was going to. They were actually going to. How can I say invest something? Given they have some money.
well, they actually invested on players like now and Perez and stuff like that. They loaned them out and then they have sold them. So I don't know what it
No,
was.
yeah, that's on one on the center backs area because like they need a solid center back,
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely. And I think
Sort of like a leader actually, like for like next
I think
4 5 years.
Jimenez was there, but then he's probably injured or something.
Jimenez is out of form, but when he was like starting,
He was really good. Yeah,
yeah, but with injury and everything, he's like slowed down a little bit.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, Atletico is up and down. I thought Betis was very smart again. Villarreal.
Oh yeah, have you watched that game?
It
It was probably one of the most interesting game actually in this week. Actually,
like
it's
it's
not
exactly
the
one
game.
of the very good game, and also Villarreal has been very attacking. They had a lot of chances.
I actually had doubt about Villarreal, about going this level and competing against team like Betis or probably Sociedad or something like that. I still think that like they have uh, well, they have talents, but they don't have that much consistency. But given the chances they created against Betis, it's like okay, they will get there like in one season probably, if not this
I
season.
really think they will end up in top four here this season.
Um, yeah, it also could be possible given that like Sociedad has this sort of inconsistency,
Yeah, and
and
also
Sevilla is
the
not
Athletic Bilbao.
Sevilla is not out of picture.
Sevilla is really suffering,
Yeah, sort of out of picture for I don't know for a while.
and also
And
Atletico not being, not being consistent. So there's chance for both Betis and Villarreal. Probably it's probably too early to call for that, but still they
yeah,
have that chance. And
yeah.
I think Betis, sorry, Villarreal, especially how Lo Celso was playing and connecting with Morales, Mr. Very easy sitter, and then I mean there's so many opportunities. Shikoiji had that moment. Uh, yeah,
Given that like last two games, do you think Betis has some sort of problems? Like they lost against Real Madrid, almost lost against Villarreal, although they win at the end. But still, at one point, it felt like they were going to lose the game.
yes, but I think Betis was very smart on this particular game. They managed fairly well. They were exposed, and but I think they have again. It's like they have this certain players and the skill set to win a game and manage the game too. So yeah, you need a little bit of luck. I think Villarreal deserved more than that, but Betis has that.
But now, I guess like with uh, Capo Parades, sorry, no Parades, like
Parejo,
Parejo, yeah, and Lo Celso, like they have a solid midfield,
very good midfielder,
and yeah,
and
and
also
with Pau Torres,
options in the up
yeah,
front as well.
yeah, exactly. So like also Kukulin is like
He's
in the
very
bench.
yeah, he's very good player. So there are a lot
Yeah.
of options actually. I think I mean
If
M
like Moreno is like I don't know, like he's a little bit out of form or something like that. But you can say that like because of his movements and stuff, everything is going well. But except he's not getting that much goals. Probably last season, right? He's scoring a lot. Moreno or
yeah
but yeah, they're going to be like they're up until the end of the this season. It will be interesting fight, especially in the end.
yeah exactly. So and also I think with Emery he doesn't say that, but I think he's very quietly optimistic. He knows his team and
Yeah, true.
and if I compare to last season's team, I think they have a little bit better side or at least stable side in this term. So there's
Yeah,
things possible, but yeah, you have to work on. Liga is more continuity and consistent game planning.
yeah. And some teams like especially you have to win those sort of matches, especially your immediate
Rivals,
contenders.
yeah,
Yeah, rivals. Um, That's another issue. Like Sociedad lost against Getafe, and finally Getafe was, how can I say, like performing like from my expectation actually. Um, how can I say? Uh, there are so many talents in this team, and like I always thought like they will perform a lot, like especially teams like mid-table teams like Sociedad or if they're playing against Betis or stuff like that, and upset probably one or two. They played brilliant game actually against Sociedad, but also Sociedad seems a little bit lost. Like, well, they have players, but still, it's sort of like it feels like something is missing from the team.
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue that Sociedad have weakened a bit from last season, and also Athletic Bilbao. I mean,
Yeah, I was going to mention that actually they scored like probably two four goals games actually. Like,
and lost four
and
goals.
they are sneaking up like
Yeah,
in behind in the not in the first two matches, but like probably they're now probably five or six. I forgot, and they are sneaking up. Um,
yeah, exactly. And any other particular game that you kind of... Oh, we
uh,
we never actually spoke about Barcelona versus Sevilla. It sounded like a
big
big
game.
game, but it was not really big game, right?
Yeah, Serbia actually attacked quite a few times, but
Especially
well,
for
they actually played.
first 10-15 minutes was really good.
Yeah, they actually, but which was like sort of expected from them. They actually played probably who's this really? Aquina, and who else was there?
Lamela,
No, on the left side.
on the left side.
Let me check.
Wasn't Nacho? Sorry, I say not Nacho.
Oh, it was the week before.
Yeah, I think it was a couple weeks back.
Yeah, wait. But Lewandowski scored a brilliant goal. Um,
Yeah,
Let me check. Yeah, Isco was playing there on the left. The thing is that like th- I thought like they will at least like how can I say a little bit given the quality of the players they have. But the thing is that like their midfield is so slow. they're they're really underperforming.
yeah,
Sevilla.
yeah, and I think there's one chance. Obviously, Lamela, I think shoot, and also Al Naziri. He was playing up front.
Mm.
If I'm remembering correct, he should have scored. There's no way he should not have scored from there. I mean, the way he just missed that opportunity. It's a weak shot. I think Sevilla could have been 3-0 up by 20 minutes or so. That would have been a very different game for Barcelona to come back. And then
Yeah.
they've given away the game to Barcelona, and Barcelona managed that game very, very well. And now Sevilla have a lot of problems. I mean, from last year, Sevilla had major issues about drawing the games, not scoring enough goals. Now they don't have even a solid back line. Now they're even
And
more
yeah.
prone to losing the game.
They actually aren't a lot, but there are some issues going on in the background actually, like with Sevilla club. Mm. But I don't know, like I thought there will be a good investment, especially in the center back region, because
As
who's
you,
the guy?
as Diego Carlos and Kunde both left
Yeah, Carlos left
long
like
time,
in the probably in the first first few hours of the transfer
and
market.
Kunde's rumor was going on from last season.
Yeah, and he was not going to sign a new contract for them.
So yeah, that's about it. But how do you see Barcelona in this particular game week so far? Barcelona had um, obviously,
Actually, they had an interesting game against Cadiz because Cadiz was more threatening than Sevilla, and they actually were holding Barcelona and probably running to mostly at their attack was on the left side of the their yeah, left. They were attacking and from the left, like which is like right of Barcelona. But in the first 45 minutes, especially, Cadiz was brilliant. They could have actually scored one or two goals, and which actually changed the tone of the game.
Yeah. And also, I should mention there was a bit of stoppage on that game of Cadiz because there was a spectator, an older woman had a heart attack,
Oh
uh,
yeah,
and Ladisma, the goalkeeper, Cadiz goalkeeper, just ran down and got that defibrillator and threw it on to the stand. And the news was that she was saved. So it's a good kind of lesson that if you're nearby the fan, and actually the fan were chanting that they need help, they need help.
yeah.
So
That's another issue. Like if I remember, you said something similar like that actually when we were analyzing Euro, and it was right after um,
Ericsson
Ericsson
incident.
incident. Yeah, you were saying something like make training the players for fast aid medical attention or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I think you're. It somehow seems like you might be in a better position in a football stadium, be it a spectator, be it a player or someone else, than you're alone on your home and you have a heart attack.
yeah, and also like Cadiz, this area actually, there are so many older people, especially like they since they moved to the like first division. Their stadium is not that actually big, but the thing is that like there are so many old people from those sort of areas, Cadiz or Betis. They are like so passionate. I remember those areas because like those were like highly infected area because in the
COVID.
COVID, because of the family tie and like older people like living with their children and grandchildren and stuff like that. So like um, there were some issues with this sort of things, and they it's not so surprising to see like older women especially they're going to the stadium and cheers for the team. So it would be actually like a good thing to see. Also there are security guard, like in the stadium always, like in every stand. So like if they are um how can I say, have some sort of like a medical uh, fast aid training or something like that, um, they could have actually. I don't know. Like here in Germany, if you want to get a driving license, there is a part like they will train you for the first aid,
Oh, that's
medical attention.
that's impressive. Here in Canada, you don't have to, but for my profession, I'm first aid trainee. And then if you're going through roads and you're seeing an incident, and if you think you would stop and start the first aid process, be it anything, and if it's a severe issue, you cannot escape unless there is another, first aid ticket holder or paramedic came in. So just, I mean, the legislation is a little bit of inflected, but I'm not going even there. So it's interesting that you say that if you have, you know, uh,
No, it's sort of like a mandatory. You have to take it before probably the theory exam or something, or practical. I forgot actually which one, but yeah, like I'm gonna take that actually in probably
uh,
2 3 months.
that's a good one. But yeah, moving back to that game after the game started and last 7 or 8 minutes, I think Barcelona scored 2 goals. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, like up until this match, actually, like everything was going going so well. Since like, but what I'm trying to say, this team is shaping up a little bit more in the Liga than Champions League, because like Champions League it's hard to because every Spanish team plays a little bit similar way. Like I probably talked about it. Like there are more ball players in like like mid-table teams than that in English Premier League. So it's hard to actually, how can I say, face those sort of situations, because you have to be more technical. But given that the experience they have and most of the players are Spanish, so they're, I think, a little bit comfortable in this area,
No,
I would say.
it's true. Uh, Other than that, I mean, obviously Real
Real
Madrid,
Madrid actually, yeah, won against Mallorca probably last week, and
and
I was not actually
Valverde
surprised.
scored as one of the goals of the month, I would say, or even the season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I brought it up actually, like how he's playing so far this season. It's unbelievable. And that's another issue. Like whenever Madrid is missing someone and
someone
someone
else
actually shows up,
steps up.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the quality. And that's why I was asking you in the beginning, like if someone is going to challenge Madrid this season is from the league, it's probably one of those teams like
yeah, it has to be Barcelona.
Atletico or,
Yeah,
but like other than that actually, like mm, it's hard theoretically to beat them.
yeah, fair enough. I mean, there could be a time if a lot of players are missing or coming out of World Cup, where they have to still find that rhythm.
Yeah,
They might miss 1 or 2 games, but that could happen to any other team.
yeah, true, true.
I don't actually have anything else to add on the Liga,
All right.
La Liga. Why don't we move our focus to Bundesliga?
Yeah, actually, there were some interesting games. Now, I don't know if you saw, if you have seen the point table. Union Berlin is top. So,
Yeah,
and
think of a team. I mean, that comes from so much bottom and so struggle so much, and they're top of the Bundesliga. Take a bow.
yeah, true. With with so much money, they are like they don't have that much actually money, and there were situations like like I sent you that uh, video about that documentary about Union Berlin.
Yeah,
Like when they were promoted and did not want to get. Oh no, it was Freiburg. Sorry, that's another team which is doing well so far this season, both in how can I say, like in league and also in Europe. Um, Union Berlin probably. Oh no, it was from Freiburg. Sorry, but the thing is that like they are producing so many players and their supporter is like in this south east side, like this whole side. And actually like when I was going to the uh, how can I say, like going to watch that match in the sixth division. It was actually close to their stadium, um, Union Berlin's, but unfortunately there weren't actually any home game. But apart from that, like they had an interesting game against I guess it was Cologne. Um, so there was red card involved, but they weren't actually that impressive. They have been before, but still managed to win. And but the most how can I say, exciting game was from uh, Bayern versus Stuttgart. Um, Bayern actually drew against Stuttgart after scoring like 2 goals, and that's another issue. Like with Bayern Munich, I probably explained a little bit in that actually Champions League analysis. Like they have some issues when teams are sitting deep and taking absorbing pressure, especially. They don't have like these creative passes from the deep, except for from Kimmich, and only like Davis is getting some sort of spaces, because he's a good runner and also like really good in position. Except for that, actually, it's hard to see. And also like if it's any other league, I would say like Nagelsmann would have actually get like 2 3 red carded by the by this time, because he's losing his temper all the like almost every big matches. So
Yeah,
um,
it's nice to
it's
see him losing a little bit of temper too. He comes as a very hot-headed guy at this point, like uh,
yeah,
like a
exactly.
spoiled kid of a billionaire.
Sort of. Well, he appeared like that actually, but he's a good coach,
No,
a good
I'm
technician.
not questioning that, but it's just fun. Uh, but
Uh,
go ahead.
Another thing is that like with Frankfurt, it's like so ups and downs going on with them. I'm not sure, like
Yeah,
because
isn't that very curious case of after achieving so much in the last season, right?
he, not really, because they brought some players like Gotcha or I don't know. There are so many new players, but they still have like this solid base. Like Kevin Trapp is still there. Um, they probably got like, but there should have been actually a little bit more like striker. I would say, because they are creating chances and that it's not, for some reason it's not like materializing or something like that.
Yeah,
So they probably need someone like
but
similar profile like Nkunku or something like that.
well, they're playing this guy. There's what the Colombian guy is playing River Plate. Is it Borja? No, not Borja. Borre, Rafael Santos Borre, and there is
Mm.
Lucas Alario. He doesn't get much time anyway. He was getting like 10, 15 minutes and 20 minutes at the most. So
I I guess like Alario has still have like
injury issues.
injury issues. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like um, and Gotcha, when he was playing, especially in the beginning, like for example, beginning of the match, he's like really fresh and everything. But they are more relying on this guy towards the whole 90 minutes, and he's still like he's not that young kid who scored against Argentina. So that's another issue. Like, but they still have like their quality players, and but a little bit change in hierarchy, I would say.
Underperforming definitely. It's not the
Yeah.
same way. I don't see that hunger and energy on the field. I mean, not
Also, like yeah, also like there are so many teams in Bundesliga.
are actually
Yeah,
doing better on them. Yeah.
yeah, and also like like I said, like even in sixth division, they are trying to close the spaces. It's so technical games. Um, so it's hard to predict, and you have to win those sort of matches, especially against your immediate rivals, like for example, Berlin or I don't know. They probably lost against Wolfsburg, right? Yeah,
Yep.
Wolfsburg last week. You have to like this. Wolfsburg is not doing well. Um, Not that actually, like not that regular like them actually, but still, you have to win those sort of games.
Yep.
Then they are really performing underperforming in Europe as well.
Yeah. Exactly. And same goes for Leverkusen.
Yeah,
Unless I mean
true. They Hertha Berlin is not like they're not awful, but
it's
if
almost
if
close to
you
awful.
yeah, but still like if you have um like the quality of players the Leverkusen have, for example, like Demir Bay or something, or Palacios in the midfield. Hudson Odoi they bought from Chelsea this season, but I don't know like what's not going well for these two teams. I don't have any sort of explanation actually. why they are underperforming and stuff like that.
Probably just a little bit of exhaustion or something. It might need.
Also, I would say like there is another thing like with probably five substitution, and like German league is pretty like fast league,
Yeah,
I would
it
say,
is.
uh, and also like a little bit technical and direct, especially. And with like five players like in changes, like most of the teams they have like good runners again, and
They can
that's
overrun.
a,
Yeah,
yeah. So that was used to the play of like teams like Leipzig or
Frankfurt even.
the Frankfurt. Yeah, those are like those teams actually rose like from that
Because of
those
the
sort of teams.
runners.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
runners. And now like when teams like can change like almost half of their outfield players,
And
it's
can
hard to
overrun you basically.
overrun you. Yeah. So that's another issue, I guess. So like it's interesting like when I saw some how can I say analysis from English media like playing five players like changes, it will give a little bit advantages to teams like City or Liverpool. And now you can see like City is struggling against teams like Crystal Palace or Aston Villa or some teams, and Liverpool is still trailing. And
Well,
teams,
Liverpool is not doing well except probably the last game and at the
yeah,
Bournemouth game. Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is that like team can actually outrun you, especially in the midfield, and everyone is changing actually the midfielders. So like those up and down, this thing actually not it's not changing, and it's hard to play in those sort of situations. And that's what actually was, how can I say, hampering Bayern Munich so far this season. Actually, they only have few runners, and they're more trying to hold the balls and try to do that because they don't have any other options, because every other teams are like sitting deep and running behind their open
Highlights.
spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be an interesting Bundesliga this season, actually,
Hopefully,
with
hopefully.
all those
The
like
only
ups
time
and downs
we
going
would
on.
say interesting when Bayern Munich doesn't win it. So let's see.
And Freiburg is like in the second position.
Yeah. Oh, what a what a time to be alive for a Freiburg fan.
And actually, like there was an article when Freiburg probably, oh no, it was from Berlin actually, because one of those team actually doesn't want to like get into. Oh yeah, it was Freiburg and also like in the Berlin. When it was not article was about Berlin, and the thing information was about Freiburg. Freiburg was not actually. Um, they don't have any big stadiums or anything because it was like middle of Black Forest. Um, and last winter I've been there actually. So like it's a beautiful place to be, but the thing is that like it's not like a big city, and they don't have big stadiums. And in the 90s, before 90s, they did not have like floodlight or any sort of things like that. So like it they they actually built a new stadium actually few probably last year. It was open. And like Freiburg is like wholly like solely owned by their his supporters only. So there are like local milk companies their sponsor, so far I know. um, so that's another funny issues, like if they win or one of these teams, I don't know, like if it's only like 6 matches, and Bundesliga have like 34 matches, so like 28 matches to go, but
Yeah.
still,
Long
like
long time. Yeah.
one can wish
Yeah. Exactly.
this sort of fairy tales. Yeah, but there was a match in Berlin probably 2 3 seasons ago. It was against probably Leipzig, and um, they lost in the end, but they fought like in tiebreaker. It was in the cup final. They had a good run. And um, that's another issue. Like they were relegated, and but the thing is that they actually like get hold of this coach for a while. Before that, like they had actually another coach who was like there for I don't know 13, 15 years or something like that. So let's see. Like it will be interesting. I hope.
Yeah,
Like at
let's see.
least
Let's see.
it's been 10 years like since last time. Dortmund probably won last time. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, if anyone else wins, I want to hear they have to win the Ballon d'Or. Their striker has to win the Ballon d'Or because somebody was saying Robert Lewandowski should get it just because he's scoring so much goal in Bundesliga, right?
Yeah.
So maybe Freiburg striker, if Freiburg wins it, or Union Berlin's defensive midfielder if he has the most tackles in the per game, right? So yeah, just been joking around. But yeah, other than that, is there anything else on the Bundesliga we should be talking?
Mm, not really, but I would love to see Schlotterbeck in the German national team for the
He's
World Cup.
he's already there, right?
Yeah, but they have a tendency to play Hummels or Sule or
Which I
other
like.
players. Hummels is doing okay because like last season it was awful for him. But I would love to
Any
see.
World Cup that German team struggles, I would enjoy that.
Then they actually, whenever they are struggling, they are actually probably go for the cup normally.
No, no, no.
Except for the 2014, I guess I would say.
18.
No, no, no. I was saying like when they are struggling,
No, no, no. I'm not saying
they're
struggling. I'm saying struggling to get to the next stage. So uh,
oh yeah.
that would be great.
But this time the cars is on France, so
Yeah, still, yeah. Um, I guess we are out of topics, and it's almost like 2 hours.
yeah.
Um, so why don't before we leave, is there anything else we have missed from anywhere?
Not really.
Okay.
Probably League One,
Ligue 1
Liga.
is so boring. I mean, it's hard to talk. I mean,
This
unless
season,
you're PSG fan. Other than that, I don't see any.
this season there are like over 30 or 40 red cards already.
Yeah,
Which was a topic.
yeah, I guess. But not as I mean, there's a competition between Serie A managers and uh, and the players in Liga. So yeah, I
Even
guess.
Pep Guardiola managed to get booked after the Dortmund game. It
Was it
was
a
actually funny.
Italian referee?
I don't know. Maybe it could be, but yeah, I don't have actually anything else to add.
Well, on
So
that note, I
oh,
guess
yeah, we are going to get on an international break this week, or it's in the next week.
next week.
Oh, okay, okay, then we'll have time.
Yeah. On that note, I guess we're wrapping it up. And as we have been keep saying, if you're listening or watching, please let us know if you're actually enjoying the content, or we should change something, or you have questions or comments to make, so we can really interact with you. And if you have nothing to say, please make sure that you subscribe. And if you're here for first time, please make sure you give us feedback. Otherwise, we cannot do better. Right. Okay. We'll wrap it up. Thank you again, Chudipta, for the insights. So we'll be back again next week.
Yeah, thanks for the invitation.